Hi guys, welcome to our sessions on ACCA. I am your mentor Zaheer Sayed. I'm an ACCA member and have been a member for over a decade. Have teaching experience of almost 10 years as well, and also have an industry experience of almost 15 years where I worked with companies like Ernst& Young, WNS, Soprasteria, and Union Bank of Switzerland, and I've worked in areas like audit, accounting, and finance. I like to believe that we should be able to bring a lot of these industry experiences to our lectures, and that is exactly what I intend to do through our sessions on business and technology. Now, if this is your first paper in ACCA, well, good news, because business and technology is a fairly straightforward paper. A lot of the things that you will see in this paper ideally should have been covered in your college as well, especially if you are starting your journey after 12 or after graduation, right? So this is an introduction. I don't intend to keep it very long. This is done just to make sure that you understand what is there in the syllabus, what is there in the paper, and of course, if this is your demo, hopefully you like the session and you continue a journey with us, right? So in the session, what are we going to cover? We're going to cover the BT overview, which I just gave, and the syllabus, the exam pattern, and how do you go about preparing for the exam, right? So first and foremost, the syllabus. Now, this is a fairly long syllabus. It is one of the longest syllabuses that you will see in the ACCA. However, it is not crazy long, let's say like a tax, right? This is, you should be able to cover studying the whole thing in about a month and a half time, or some of the good students are even able to cover it in a month's time, right? Now, what are the chapters? The first one is business organization. Now, you need to understand that business and technology. So it is business, how the business is conducted, what are the various things that gets done in business, and the technology part. Of course, when we talk about technology, it is not crazy amounts of technology. You don't have to learn coding, you don't have to know any technical jargons to crack this paper. It is really to understand how technology is impacting the business, because trust me guys, I do a lot of seminars on AI, robotics, etc., and I can assure you it is happening. It is definitely going to continue to progress in terms of jobs being automated. Therefore, it is imperative for you that you understand how the technology is going to impact the businesses, and hopefully be able to get better prepared for it, right? So that is what you see in business and technology. So the first chapter, business organization, and the second chapter, organization and structure, really talks about what are the different types of structures that are there. It could be a sole proprietor, it could be an organization, it could be a large corporate, right? And what are the different ways that they are managed, which comes to the next chapter, which is the culture of the business. You will see that there are multiple theories around how the culture determines how the business works. And trust me, because I work at FPA and I am the group CFO there, I understand, because I'm at a senior level, so I understand how the way we work at a senior level and the kind of things that we do impacts the overall culture of the business. So therefore, it is important to understand how these cultures shape the business. Then, of course, like I said, information technology and information systems in the business. You would be surprised to see that there are tons of information systems in the business. Do not always confuse information system with the technology. Information system could be that you put things on a piece of paper and then you give it at the end of the day as a report to your boss. That is also an information system, right? But there are different types of systems like MIS, which is a management information system, and then there is a decision support system, and there are multiple others. Then, very important, what are the various stakeholders in the business? Now, you may think the most important is your shareholder, and the other one may be the government, but then there are environmental, there are people internal as well as external. So you can't be ignoring that you have to take care of the employees. You can't ignore, the general public. You can't ignore the various stakeholders like suppliers, debtors. So there are multiple stakeholders and not just one or two. So how do you go about managing them? Then comes the analysis. Now, for any business to survive, thrive, and grow, right, they need to understand where they are operating, what is the surrounding of that business, the external analysis, in which covers the political factors, the legal factors, the economical factors, the social factors, environmental and technological, which in short we call it as pestle, right? PESTEL. These are the factors that you need to understand about your business before you're able to really do anything in your business. Because if you don't know how the political scenario can impact your business, or what is the kind of economic policies that are ongoing, or what is the social structure, you can't open an Apple store in an area where people are hardly able to afford to eat, right? So those are the kind of things that you need to understand from pestle. And for businesses, this becomes one of the key things to do before they take any decisions, right? So pestle, then competitive factors, what are the various ways in which competition impacts your business, right? You will see there are models like Porter's five forces that will tell you how to gauge your competition and what can you do about it. Then comes ethics. Now you should know that ACCA is super duper strong about ethics, and if you're learning ethics and this is your first paper, believe you me, you will be learning ethics right up till the end of your ACCA, because ACCA understands that we are in a very very important position. Us accountants really determine whether the companies can continue to grow in the ethical manner or not. Because if there is something that goes wrong, for example, a boss comes and tells you that, look, book a fake entry because I want to get a listing done, and that listing will help us get our shares prices high. It is up to you now, because if you are ethical, you will stop it there and you will save the investors from making a wrong decision. So you can imagine you are at that position. So that's your ethics. Coming to governance and social responsibility, it has become such an important aspect today. I hope you have been hearing about ESG, which is environment, social, governance, right? It is important that the business just don't look out for their shareholders and making profits and making monies. They should also think about the general public and how business can impact their lives positively, right? Then comes laws, regulations. Now, of course, wherever the business is, what are the different types of law and things like money laundering, right? Now that is such a big problem today. I was just reading that money laundering, etc., constitutes to almost a $2 trillion worth of losses to economies world over. So that's the kind of serious problems that we have. So therefore, there are relevant laws around it. Now, when it comes to accounting, because that's what we are, what are the different functions that an accountants have? Do we just do recording transactions sitting in the corner somewhere on the table, or do we have a much more value add work? So you will learn all of these. What are the various financial systems? What are the different procedures around it? Then the relationship between accounting and other business functions. So like I was saying, that accountants are not just supposed to sit in the corner and only record transactions. Today's accountants are a lot more of a value add than they were, let's say, 20 years ago. Then audit, my god, such an important aspect for a business. And you will see that the audit that you learn here will also help you in audit in skill level, right? Then comes to fraudulent behavior. There are a lot of things that people end up doing, for example, insider trading, right? So what are those things, and what are the things that we should not be doing? Of course, there are some bits here that also will help you in law. Then comes leadership, management, supervision. You will see, because we talked that this is business and technology, therefore leadership is one of the most important things when it comes to business and its growth. If you don't have the right leader, if you have the steering wheel in someone who does not know how to drive, obviously the car is going to crash, right? That is how important a leader is. The person who has the steering wheel, they know exactly how to take you to the right level, to the end of the journey, right? Then individual, group, team behavior. This is again managing. Look, because ACC understands that even if you are an individual working as a one person, maybe doing MIS, right, management information system, but you still have to work with multiple people around. So BT does make you much more aware of what are these different types of people that will be around you. and how do you manage them as well, right? So therefore next you can see is motivating individuals group, because leadership can do this, right? The leaders, the managers, they are responsible to keep everyone motivated. Then reviewing appraisals. Now, appraisals means that how have you worked. Basis that you will get feedback, you will get increments, bonus, etc., etc. And then there is personal effectiveness of work at work and communication. Both of them are soft skills, but trust me, while for all these years people are saying that these are soft skills, soft skills, soft skills, but trust me, these are the most important skills that you need. If you are technically excellent, right, you know every tax in the world, you know every law in the world, but if you're not able to communicate, what good is that knowledge, right? So therefore these are equally important skills in today's world, right? So therefore in BT you will learn these things as well. All right, so it's a fairly comprehensive syllabus, but like I said, that if you are really serious about it, and because you have gone through the route of self-study, you should be able to finish the syllabus in a month's time. Make sure that while you're doing this, you're also looking at exam kit, and I will be, once we are done with 3-4 chapters, because I want you to get used to the, you know, the language that is there in the textbook, start to get in the flow. I will prepare a separate lecture on how to use the exam kit, right? Which is what I wanted to discuss next. It is the exam pattern, because if you are embarking on a journey, what's the point if you don't get to the final destination, right? So if you are studying for BT, promise yourself that you will give an exam. Of course, if this curriculum of this program you've bought is for your general knowledge so that you become better, because I also very clearly ask students who are taking exemptions to still go through the subjects, because these are all interrelated somewhere or the other, right? So therefore if you're studying BT here, there is a very strong connection at the SBL, which is the professional level paper. There are some components in audit, right? So therefore no point in just ignoring this paper. Go through it, give our mocks. There are tons of mocks that FPA has. Make sure that you do them and have your base as strong as possible, right? So coming back to, if you're going to sit the exam, right, this is the format, section A and B. Now let me also talk about what is the exam, or how does the exam work, especially at the knowledge level, because I'm assuming that this is your first paper in ACCA, right? You will, once you're done with your syllabus, once you're done with all the exam preparation that we expect you to do, you can actually book the exams any time of the year. There are multiple exam centers across the country. At least in India we have. If you're watching it outside India, I'm sure there will still be exam centers. And if there are none, worry not, because these can be done from home as well, right? So you can book a remote computer-based exam, and all of these information are available on the ACCA website, or you can also come to my channel on YouTube. You just have to search with my name, Zaheer Sayed, ACCA, and I should be the first one there, right? So I've done tons of videos that can help you in your ACCA journey. So therefore, you should be able to see how the exam booking is done. Now coming to the exam pattern. The exam pattern is very similar to what you will see in the other knowledge level papers. So you've got section A and B. There are 32 marks questions, right? Again, these are all objective style questions, and the exam is also for only 2 hours, right? So these are all objective style questions, 32 marks questions. Then there are 16 1-marker questions. What's the difference between 2-marker, 1-marker? 2-marker is maybe sometimes slightly more difficult. You have to select multiple options. A 1-marker could be a straightforward tick, right? So that's why you've got 76 here in the section A, and then in section B you've got 6 4-marker questions. So that makes it 24 and total 100, right? So it's a 100-mark paper. So you've got 4 marks question, and in that, so these are all not necessarily scenario based, but yeah, they are they are 2 marks questions, right, for every 4-marker. And within that you may have half a mark for putting, dragging on and dropping, or ticking on the right places, or filling the blanks, right? So the idea is that the whole thing is objective style, right? So you just need to make sure that you understand the syllabus through its concepts, right? And this is where I wanted to take you now, which is the preparation of exam. Because if you don't understand the concepts, guys, it is going to be, trust me, very very hard, not just for the BT paper but for the papers ahead as well. Because ACCA does not believe in rote learning, that you can just study and you have by heart everything and then you go in the exam and you can do it. You need to understand the concept, because the kind of questions you may get over there are not the ones that are there in the textbook or the exam kit, right? So therefore, understand the concepts. If you are going through my lectures, if you don't understand the concept, pause, rewind it, go through it again. If you still don't understand, reach out to me, and I would be happy to help. Right now, coming to how to prepare for the exam, these are some of the things that we believe if you do, you will be absolutely sorted. The first thing is study text. Now, the good news, study text is what you will be doing with me in the class, right? So I will go through the whole textbook. I will be able to tell you what are the main concepts, how do these come up in the exams, and any other tips at the time, right? Then comes the exam kit. Now, you will in your LMS see that there is a study text and then there is an exam kit. This exam kit basically has a repository of all the questions that are exam type, which may not necessarily be there in the study text, and B will also have some of the past papers, right? So therefore, it is important that study text along with exam kit is what you need to do. You cannot do only one of them. You have to do both of them. Now, this is a bare minimum that you do. The third thing, which has also become a very important part of preparation for exams, is study hub. We have seen a lot of questions which are similar to what you see on study hub. Therefore, I would urge you that not just do these two but also do study hub. There are tons of mocks that we have at FPA. Make sure that you do them, at least 8 to 9 of them. And there are a couple on the CBE platform as well. What is a CBE? It's a computer based exam platform. If you go to the ACCA global website, you click on the you click on the BT, and you will be able to see there are a couple of papers that you can practice that will give you an exact feel of how an exam question will look like, right? So therefore, that you should keep right at the end so that you're very comfortable in the exam type scenario, right? So that is how you prepare for the exam. Trust me, if you've done these things, you don't need to do anything else. This is more than enough. I have seen students passing 99% of the times if they've done these, right? Of course, like I said, not just have to do this, you have to make sure that you understand the concepts as well. You can't get away from that, right? So look, this is all that I want to cover today. I hope you have enjoyed the session and you will decide to continue your journey with us at FPA and with me, Zaheer Sayed. Like I said, if there are things that you want to know more about ACCA, I have a full dedicated channel only to ACCA on YouTube. You just have to search with my name, Zaheer Sayed. I can take you back to my spelling, right? So it's Zaheer Sayed. Make sure that you search me up and do follow me on there as well to get all the latest on ACCA, right? So I hope you've enjoyed the session and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Thank you so much and all the very best. Bye-bye.